Yo, Elliot. Yo, it's your bro Elliot Hulse here, and I got a strange question for you today from my bro Tristan. He goes on to say, yo, Elliot, I recently just broke my humerus after arm wrestling and had surgery. Wow. I prolonged fasted before and it went well. Knowing how autophagy can heal people, do you think I should try a fast to potentially speed the recovery or continue eating to get the correct nutrients? So I say that's a strange question because it's been, I guess, traditional wisdom or knowledge or even like contemporary knowledge that if you want to heal something, you got to eat, because when you eat, it gives you the nutrients that your body needs to use in order to repair, right? And that kind of makes sense, right? Like if something's broken, right? Like if I'm standing over here in this concrete and like there's big gashes and holes in the concrete and I want to fill those holes up, right? Because the concrete's messed up. What do I need? I need to get concrete, right? I get concrete and water and I fix it. You need the materials to fix a thing. And so it kind of like makes sense, right? So you break a bone and you know bones are made of calcium, right? So for example, made of a lot of other things as well. And the healing process requires a lot of other things as well. So you figure I'm gonna take as much stuff as I can because it's gonna help fix that arm. But interesting thing I learned and then had some experiences with when fasting. So according to a lot of the most recent science around fasting, fasting stimulates this process in the body called autophagy, right? And he mentioned this in here. And autophagy is sort of like the cells in your body sort of like begin repairing, right? There's reparations, the repairs that are happening in your body through this process of autophagy and a lot of other things as well, right? The word autophagy actually literally means self-eating, right? So it's like old dead cells eat themselves up, and then that way like there's new room for other cells. Dr. Jason Fung started to describe, he used this amazing analogy to describe how the body begins, it heals itself through autophagy and other mechanisms that I just don't understand. But if you check out Dr. Jason Fung and some of his work on YouTube, he's got a great book called the Complete Book of Fasting. He talks about how when you stop eating, this is a beautiful analogy, this is amazing. When you stop eating, your body goes into repair mode. And you might ask yourself, well, how is that? Why is that? And he uses this analogy. He says, imagine that the highway, right? The highway, the road out on the street, cars are driving through it all day long, right? But that road is jacked up. Say it's got pit holes in it, pop holes in it. The street is just effed up, but cars are driving. So what that means is that the repairmen, the guys that come with the trucks and fix it, they can't fix that street because there's too many cars coming, right? What do they got to do in order to get out there and fix that street? They got to stop traffic. They got to stop all the cars. So either they do it at nighttime and they do a detour. You ever see this? They're fixing the street, so they do a detour. They got to stop traffic down that street because as long as there's traffic, there's no room to get out there and fix it. And he says this works the same way in your body, that you have repair mechanisms within your body or immune system and so forth that would go to work if we stop all the traffic, right? So the vitality that would go towards repairing your body, actually, it never goes to repairing the body because it's busy digesting food, right? There's too much traffic for the repair to happen. There's too much food, too much digestion going on in your body for the repairs to happen, right? And so it kind of like makes sense, right? He's a doctor, he's a scientist, he studies this shit. I'm just telling you what he said in a book, and it kind of made sense. And so I believed it, right? Maybe I'm gullible. I'm a little gullible. Sometimes I read stuff and I want to believe it. And so I wanted to believe Dr. Jason Fung when he said this. If you stop eating, your injuries will be healed, right? And he's not the only one that I've heard say that too. There's a guy named I think his name Tommy Tolman on YouTube. You can check him out. He's got like a whole channel on fasting, and he does like fasting retreats and shit. And he claims that after a certain amount of days of prolonged fasting, like old injuries will start to heal themselves, right? And it's just by the same process, right? So all this sounds like mystical, magical, and weird, right? Like it totally goes against my Western scientific mind. But anyway, like I said, I'm gullible. So I'm like, all right, let me believe this shit. I believed it in thought. I believed in an idea, but it wasn't until I had this strange experience that I was like, oh, it's happening. It works. So back in like 2014, I was jumping on the trampoline, right? I was jumping on the trampoline and I was doing flips, right? Because you know that's what a fool, be quiet. Wait, that's what a knucklehead does, right? He jumps on trampolines and does flips. So I was doing flips until I landed on my goddamn head, practically cracked my head off, broke my neck, right? And I had this real bad pain right here. I had this real bad pain right here, right there. Real bad pain, man, for a long time. Like, when I say a long time, I mean like over a year, for years. I hadn't eaten for years. It would just be that little, like I would go like this, and I could feel it. You might even watch some of my old videos, even some, well, not anymore really, but some of my old videos, and you see me like doing this, like in between my lifts, I'm doing this. That's because I fell on my goddamn head and I hurt my neck back there. And I figured it would just be something I would deal with. Well, back in 2019, when I fasted myself down to the bone and I was about 165 pounds, right? Remember how I looked emaciated, looked like I just came out of a concentration camp? I was fasting. I did a whole lot of fasting. And I remember it wasn't, I would fast every week. I would start on Monday and I would fast all the way into like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I start again every Monday. That was my process. And I did that. I did it for about 6 months. It wasn't until like maybe like my 4th or 5th week of fasting that way that all of a sudden, like, I was like, wow, this, with that pain that I had, it was real achy. It was more achy than usual. I was like, what is going on here with this, right? And I literally felt like popping and clicking in it. I was like, there was some movement, there was something going on in there, and I just totally didn't understand it. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, where is it? The pain was completely gone. It was almost like little Pac-Men or something came in that day and started like healing it, like knitting it together, right? What is that movie? What is that movie with the little robots? It's an old movie from the 1980s. Shit, I can't remember. Like little robots that would come in and repair shit. And these little robots, little autophagy robots came in and started repairing my muscle. And I tell you, I haven't had a pain there ever since. This shit went away completely, right? So is that going to happen with you, right? Are you going to stop eating and your bone is going to knit itself up and heal itself up right away? I'm not going to touch that. I don't know. But there are some doctors, there are some scientists, there's a lot of literature out there that's gonna tell you this shit is real, it really happens, and I had a similar experience. So, you wanna heal that bone up? Fast, stop eating, and start growing. I don't know, give it a try, bro. Done.